Everyone, I'm Kloo, back for some more Darkest Dungeon 2. So we're at the mountain. All we have to do is gear up and get to it. Everyone can have some food. You guys need less stress. Damage for you guys. No one really needs the whittling tool. I don't want the Hallion's actually the worst to be moved. Because if they're not in 1 or 2, they can't do anything. And toe-to-toe from either of these spaces takes a while to get back. You do want to buy a few things though. The dartboard.
Something to ease the rigors of the
And I
road.
guess just the dartboard. No trinkets, maybe the health. That could be decent. Yeah, I'll probably grab the, what is it, standard. And we want it probably on the Plague Doctor to make him a bit more tanky, and then everyone else is pretty much geared for damage. Probably instead of the stun. Ooh, not even that one, or speed. No, speed in the long run is better. Right, points, we have 5.
However painful, is the greatest teacher of all.
Like that. Upgrade all the stuff we use. There's actually not many corpses on the end, but healing might be useful. Finale. And Battle Ballad. One more. Probably just the Jesters of a skill. Cool. It's done, that's done. Don't care about any more trinkets. Dartboard. Crit. We want on you two. Items. Let's see, healing. Stress one would be good, but oh well. Blindness. Blindness. Probably just a bleed for now. Don't think sass effects are great on the last boss. Well, the main boss of this era. Anyway, we'll get straight to it.
At last, the great
Carriage ride's not so bad, so I'll probably leave it all in.
failure and regret.
But as I mentioned in the last one, if you caught it at the end, I'm not too sure if I'm going to be continuing with Darkest Dungeon, at least until a bit more is released. It's not of great of an experience as I had hoped it would be. I'd probably value the dodge over the damage. Because even if we focus the big guy, probably just heal through it. Yeah, a lot of it's a bit more tedious than the first one, making it really drag on. Get the dodges. Okay, I guess we're aiming for that guy. We apply, we use. Pretty good turn to start off. If we Noxious Blast, you should be at death's door. Good dodges. The trophy's really been spectacular. But yeah. A lot of the game just drags on more than I feel it should compared to the first game. So the first game you were isolated into these little runs that felt nice. This, however, trying to do it at least in one sitting is awful. And they might be going for the idea of, you know, you do one area, you stop. Except an area still can take up to more than an hour if you actually try and do everything. Unless you specifically try and avoid combats. it's just a real big hassle. You can have quick combats like this, but then just because of RNG, you can have really bad ones as well. You get punished a lot more, I want to say.
Suffering begins.
Yeah. It's not a terrible thing, because obviously you want a hard game, but at the same time, it just makes it more annoying. And the replayability is just not here like the other games. Because since the progression's all run-based, you're just doing the same thing over again. And I'm hoping the multiple acts helps with that. At the same time, doing the multiple acts with, like, starting from scratch, I don't think they've spaced it enough. Because generally, you could beat the boss first try each time. As long as you play it safely. So having 5 acts to unlock, so 8 classes, plus they're adding some more, as well as all the levels of hope. And then wanting to continue. Because the whole point of being able to unlock stuff is you want to play with that stuff. And it's just not an experience you want to repeat. You want to have the accomplishment of getting it done, probably doing all the layers and everything.
Fragmented and undone.
But repeating from scratch, so to speak. Because every time you start, you got to re-level up masteries. There's just not enough variation like the characters of the original game. Speed and days. Although we go first anyway, I don't know why that one. The damage would have been better. Oh, this little guy. Excuse me. It's a good start. Better. And lots of things about the UI as well are just not favourable to me. There's some refinement that needs to be done. You're at death's door, so there's no point dotting you further. And stuff like this, the barks and all the interruptions that really slow down the gameplay. We don't need to go for that guy.
A breakthrough.
Try and rely on... Oh, it's not half something. It's try and rely on the dots to kill him. Granted, we can only hit you with you, so we might as well.
A breakthrough.
Taking a lot. Yeah, cool. Need to recover a bit before the boss. 3 ticks and you didn't die. Now there's a corpse to eat, so it's not too bad on the rogue rubber. Can't really heal anyone, and we can't reverie, so we might as well try and go for the kill.
A petty hindrance.
And the quirk system in this.
Though unpleasant in the extreme. This work is noble.
You can't spend time repairing everyone, like the normal Dark Dungeon. And there's some ones you really don't want. And then there's some okay ones. But it seems like they're not really good and bad. They're neutral. And then there's extremely good ones and extremely bad ones. And if you get unlucky and get them, you're just in for a bad time. and it's not like you can swap out people. Even just some utility stuff like being able to swap characters at the inn.
And non-existence.
I'm fine with like the limited roster, but being able to swap out between each location would be great. It'd probably be hard though because of the relationship system they're trying to implement. And the relationship system is another thing that seems a bit tacked on for no reason. I understand they want something to do with the stress, but each stress reduces them by 3. So right now we could have 3 meltdowns before we have to worry about the relationship here. Who knows how many tons here. So stress healing is not much of an issue. Why are we melee's blocked? Ugh. Don't even need to stress heal, so we might as well buff.
Collaboration.
I bleed. Nope, that's not. Right, we'll set up the finale. Who do we want to get rid of? Probably the healer. Or that guy. Support skills, I think it was. Support, ranged, heals, melee. You're stunned. And this boss fight is also kind of lackluster to me. Compared to the Hearts or the Ancestor, there's just nothing grand about it. They only have 2 skills. And since it's the last boss, you can basically just face tank. Just heal off Death's Door once you reach it, but don't worry about management whatsoever. Doing Iron Swan. We'll go for it. We'll attack onto you. Gnarly. See, 20 damage was that finale. So I don't know if there's better ways to buff it. With combo, I guess. But even then, say we got high roll, because I'm assuming it's a roll again, we don't get 40. 40 damage for a 2-turn setup. It's not great. This is no support skills, no stress heal or items, which is fine. The other thing is, I'm pretty sure they heal up too, which is a big no-no. 5, so you are dead. Yeah, no, they don't. Might as well. And we're just moving forward. It's no healing, it's fine. And like death blow resists and all that stuff. The stress of losing is not really there, yet there's still all this monotony surrounding just the way you fight. So like, I don't, being a Death's Door is not a big deal. It's less than a 1 in 4 for any of these guys. It's a 10% chance for the Jester. Or it should be 10 hits before he dies, so to speak.
Slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
And you have stuff like this that's just constantly buffing and ticking. Can't even heal through an item. See? Nothing to worry about. You're still going. Don't know why I blinded you. Like Harvest, I'd rather be stacking the bleed than worrying about setting up the finale. There's definitely skill choice that are just far better. I think if they locked... First off, they gave you more options on who you could use, and then they locked in... Probably should have healed the Hellion, the Jester has a high chance.
At least has been tended to.
They locked in skill choices. Granted, they'd have to preset, you know, comps at work, but I'm never going to use Yap or probably Breakthrough. If it bleeds, Niche, but not really, because generally I run Hellion first. There's just not enough variety. Good, not there. Oh well. Not a heart attack. It's nothing. You're dead to dots. Working on you next. And even if everyone dies but one character, I'm still the boss. You know, there's no after this. It's the issue. You wanted to keep as many people alive as possible because they were your strong units when you got to a boss in the first Darkest Dungeon. Now, I don't care, as long as I beat the boss, everyone can die. You're already 17, so it doesn't really matter. See? Just rolling through it.
Self-reliance is a rare and wonderful thing.
You're taking 19, so you're dead. And you die next round to dots.
And now, the greatest.
You could take this, your current comp, into the next act. That would probably make up for it.
At last, the world's mind is free to remember a time before the cancerous corruption. Each milestone makes the next road just a little easier. The Shadow's advance has been halted. For a time.
And then there's also a lot of issues with the unlocks. So the majority of trinkets that give some sort of status buff are pointless, because you would never run them over damage trinkets. Because essentially you can accomplish the same thing better by just taking care of all the enemies. see if there is an Act 2.
It was you who found the cipher, scribbled hastily in the decaying margins of some long-forgotten tome. Scribbled in blood. Whether by providence or happenstance, we stumbled upon the mark of some strange power invoked the world over, reflected in cultures predating mankind itself. A semicircle radiating 5 points of power. A symbol hidden deep in the iconography of every ancient empire. The Iron Crown, enigmatic and ubiquitous. Your sanctum, adrift in this bituminous nightmare.
There is an Act 2. Is a bit better. Something to look forward to.
Let us drag your agglutinated
I'm assuming it is a different boss.
into the light.
And we got the leper. So probably stick with it for a little bit
Your
longer.
vociferous calls to bring our findings before the faculty were dangerously premature. Given the gaps in our understanding, doing so would risk ridicule, or worse, robbery. I took no pleasure in asserting my seniority, stifling your protestations with a strict mandate of absolute secrecy. You acquiesced, but your plaintive susurrations betrayed a burgeoning resentment. The crossroads, where lost souls hope to find their way.
Huh. 25% less damage. Gotta be the worst thing you want on the leper. Blindness. See, I don't understand this as well. So, the Alien and the leper are meant to be your damage dealers, yet they both have such negative repercussions. The only solid damage dealer I've seen is the Grave Robber. You know, the Surgeon is melee skills and healing. That's pretty decent. Don't have anything upgraded. The issue. And you're not tanky enough to run front line. Range skills. So the two for the Highwayman seem good. It's either ranged or melee. And guess what? The Highwayman has a good mix of the two. It's this tank. The damage down on the men-arms, fine. They're meant to be the tank class. Granted, there's no real good ways to taunt that I've seen. So like the Hellion has better taunts. And setting up blocks versus dealing damage. The balance between wanting to do different mechanics is not there. So in the first game, you know, you had 3 ways to play. Defensively, aggressively, or through dots. We did dots, mostly on the last run, which is fine. You're penalized by Death's Door now, so it makes it less beneficial than just taking straight up damage dealers or running straight damage skills. As for tanking and slowing down combat, the stresses builds way too quick. There's numerous amounts of debuffs and buffs the enemies have that make prolonged battles horrible. So there's just not the desire there to run a tanky leper or a tanky men-at-arms rather than just straight damage dealers. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I'll probably continue with the axe. One other thing we could probably look at. We go to the main menu. So the max hope is... If it would, I have to click arrows, of course. Pretty sure it was 50, which just seems horrendous to get to. So holding the player long enough to unlock everything. I don't think it's there at the moment. We're at, I think 12 to be honest. 14. There's still a huge way to go. At least we get the occultist next run. Right, so about 30 is where the rewards drop off. Which is still, because I'm guessing it's not linear, it's probably exponential, it's still a tedious task to get to before you beat all the content of the game. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, see ya.